Alright, today I'm going to tell you a story of this disaster Halloween party I went to when I was about 14 and how I just flopped with these girls and the whole thing was a disaster. So basically when I was young, middle school, I had this friend who was openly gay and, he used to dry hump me at his sleepovers and be really weird. I'm not gonna get into that much, but the dude made me uncomfortable. At the time I was young, I didn't know what he was doing to me and all that shit, but basically he and this was the last time I ever saw him at this Halloween party. He basically he on Halloween he asked me, he's like, hey, you want to come over to my Halloween party? And I was with my other friend, my good friend at the time, and I was like, yes, only if I can bring, my friend, because I don't want to just be with him, because I was always awkward and uncomfortable with him. So he's like, oh, okay. I basically made him invite my friend over, or else I wouldn't have went. Kind of fucked up, but I invited. So we both what is it? Get in my mom's car. She drops us off, and literally, as she drops us off, there's this whole sea of girls and him, and they're all like, oh my god, hi guys, hi, and me and my friend are like, oh shit, because the thing is, he did not have one guy friend except for me. All of his friends were girls, and every time I hung out with my friend, all of his friends were girls. And his house, okay, let me explain something. His house, he lived in a mansion. His mom had three different kids with three different husbands or fathers, and the last dude she settled with was this really weird beta male provider dude who was super rich. I don't know what he did, some computer thing. Very rich, and he ended up moving into a mansion when they got together or whatever, but the dude was a literal textbook definition of a beta male provider, and they were living in a literal mansion, and yeah, there's all these girls, and I'm just super awkward and uncomfortable and shit already. We get out the car and they're like, hey guys, oh my god, hi, and me and my friend are like, oh my god. So we just go sit in the corner of the house, because we didn't know how to talk to these girls or anything. We didn't we were really out of place there. We both felt like we didn't belong. We're like, oh shit, we kind of fucked up. And all of a sudden, these two girls come out of nowhere. They're like, oh my god, hey guys. And they were dressed in, one of them was dressed as a lumberjack, and the other one was dressed as Marceline from what was that show, Adventure Time. And they're talking to us and shit pretty much the whole party, and it was going so well. They were super nice to us, they were awesome. We basically talked about life and just deep shit, just fucking everything. And the whole thing went well. We did activities and shit. The whole party, itself wasn't bad at all. What I'm about to tell you, the aftermath was what's terrible. You guys are probably gonna know where this is going, but basically, yeah, the whole Halloween party, we're hanging out with these two chicks. Me and my friend are hanging out with these two girls, and we like them. They're cool as fuck, and they like us too. They're like, oh, you guys are pretty handsome, and all that cliche shit. They said they didn't have boyfriends, any of that shit. And keep in mind, we're 14, and they were too. But yeah, and my friend, my gay friend, went to a theater school, a prestigious theater arts school. That's why those girls didn't go to our school. And yeah, we're just having so much fun. The shit was going fantastic with these girls. They're fun to talk to and hang out with this whole time. And near the end, they're like, oh, let's exchange numbers. We gave them our numbers, they give us their numbers, and we ended up making a group chat. And I left. I was sad to leave. I'm like, oh shit, they were cool. And my mom get back in the car, and I told my mom, like, oh, we got these 2 girls' numbers, and my mom's like, oh my god, you got their numbers, I'm so proud of you, you're talking to a girl. Like typical shit. And we get home and shit, and we're texting and shit. I'm like, oh fuck, maybe they'll like, we'll start like dating them and shit. Like, I don't know what was going on in my head, because I was like actually happy for once, talking to them and shit, like new people to talk to. Not just like the fact they were girls, just because like they were cool and like I don't know, they're just fun to talk to. So yeah, we're like texting them, and then like after that shit, like after that night, guys, it like I don't know what the fuck happened at all, but their whole mood, personality, whatever, just shifted, and they were mean, nasty. They were like annoyed at us all the time. In the group chat, me and my friend asked like a few times, not too much, but we asked like, hey, you guys want to hang out, you guys want to like meet up or something? They would always make an excuse or say like, oh no, and they get like really annoyed. Like, we tried to Skype them and shit, and we did a couple times, but it was just not the same. They were like really weird. Like, their whole mood just fucking changed, like for the worst. And I was just like, okay. So like it was really weird. We're just like talking about the normal stuff. Like, even when we were like calling in a Skype call, they were just like uninterested and like being mean to us and like weird, and we were like, what the hell's with that? And like they started like ghosting us and shit, like in the group chat. I had one of the girls like text me individually, like the one girl that I liked, and she was like, oh, you guys are like pretty annoying. And we weren't even saying anything annoying until we did a little bit of what they call gesture maxing there. We literally tried everything after they like started ghosting, because after they start ghosting, like there's no point. It's pretty much over at that point. So we're just doing like saying stupid shit. I remember one time we said like, there's this YouTuber named Custom Grow 420. He's like a dude that smokes weed. And we said like, oh, that's my dad. Just like stupid shit. And cause like it was already over. We knew it was over, and then we were like, what the fuck, We thought like we were gonna like start dating them and shit. Like, I had a crush on that one girl, and I was like trying to hit up her phone. She just wasn't responding, and it eventually just died down. And like me and my friend, like we had to talk about that shit. Like, when we were like young and we were 14, we were like, well, what the hell happened? They were cause guys, like they were so interested in us and shit, and we're having such a good time, like such a good time. I'm telling you guys, like at this Halloween party, like I literally didn't want to leave, because like how cool these girls were. And then the second, like the next week, like their whole mood just changed, and they became just like mean to us. And like it was just so weird. You could just feel like the vibe, like that they just didn't fuck with us anymore and shit. And it just ended. They just ghosted us. And I remember getting like really fucking depressed. I was like, fuck this shit. That was like the first like true like thing that made me like depressed, like rejection, I guess. Cause like I told that girl like I liked her and shit, and she even like the thing is, like she told me like, oh, I like you and shit, like that night. And it's just like after that shit, the whole fucking thing just changed. She's like, yeah, I don't like you that much, and I don't understand what happened. I mean, I just can't like, oh my god, I'm stuttering like a fucking idiot. But I literally can't wrap my head around that shit. It happens all the time, to me and my friend. And even most of you guys too, I've heard. Like, it just like is so weird how this shit, like, let me run it down. You'll have a girl that shows some kind of interest in you, and then like a week later, the whole thing flips around and she's like completely uninterested. I don't know what to make of that. It's probably because I'm no Chad, but I don't even know at this point. Like, what do you guys think of that? But yeah, that's basically my Halloween disaster. Trying to get these 2 girls to date me and my friend. I mean, it was bad, but yeah, let me know what you guys think, or if you have any like Halloween stories that went bad or something. I don't know.